Imagine giving your family financial freedom so that they choose the path that they like in life. Not because you've left them with any money, but because you've left them with assets that keeps growing, income producing assets. Now, where do you begin from? You need to save. So in this video, we are going to tell you and discuss how important it is for you to save and what you can do with that going forward. Let's dive deep into it. Now, anytime you earn income, we said that there's a portion that must be a seed, which means that you must save a portion of your income and not spend it all. Because let's face it, no one's income satisfies all their needs. And the higher your income rises, the higher your expenditure also rises. And so we've made this a point, and we cannot overemphasize it. You need to pay yourself first. Why do we say that? Because the rest of the income will not be sufficient for you anyway. So take the one that needs to go work for you, that is investing into your future, that is helping you to create a better path for yourself. And the rest of it, go ahead and do what you want to do with it for the now. Okay. So as you do that, we are saying that save. The number one thing I want you to understand is that how do you get this done? How do you create that? How do you create this wealth, assets that keeps growing and keeps generating income for your family, for your wife, if you're a wife, for your husband and your kids and generations yet unborn? It begins with budgeting. And so when we're saying that you are budgeting, we are not saying that you're restricting yourself and denying yourself of the things that is able to help you live comfortably in life. But what we are saying is that you are prioritizing the things that you use your money for. You're giving every single cedi, every single dollar of your income a purpose. And what is that purpose? They need to do things in your life that is able to help you grow. For example, meeting your family needs like food, shelter, etc. Allocating funds to invest in yourself, like taking care of other bills, electricity, making time to go out. Every kind of thing you think is important for you, put it in a budget. As you put it in a budget, as I said, your savings is your number one. So make your savings number one, the rest follows. But what you're doing is that you are fitting everything into a table, you are fitting everything into a framework where you ensure that whatever you're spending is no more than what is coming in. But even beyond that, you're also ensuring that you're keeping part of what you are earning now so that it's part of your expenditure, it's part of your expenses. So list the things that you need money to do, the things that you spend money on, and understand that there are needs and there are wants. You cannot do without wants. Wants are things that you need to be able to function. For example, food. You need to spend money on food. You cannot say that because you want to save money, you want to create wealth, you will not eat. That's not possible. And so you need to spend money, you need to allocate money to the things that are most important to you in life. If you're a family person, you need to take care of your spouse, you need to take care of your kids, you need to provide for them their schooling and all of that, their health. And so all those things come into play for you in designing a workable budget. The fact that we're saying that you must save, you must create the foundation to build your world does not mean that you need to starve yourself of the necessities of life. No, you must ensure that you allocate funds to actually do the things that are necessary for your life to move on. Wants are the things that will not matter if you decide not to do it. So for example, you're supposed to go and you're supposed to attend a funeral of a friend, and you are short. You design your budget such that you think that it will be difficult for you to go. Deciding between going for a funeral and getting, let's say, a lactogen or food for your baby, which one will you consider as a need or want? And so I'm sure you get the drift. Wants are things that you can do without. And so one of the things you can do as you're budgeting is to look at the things that are needs and also the things that are wants. And if there's a way that you can trim what the wants, then kindly do that so that you can ensure that you can let your life function as it's supposed to be, whilst also keeping sight of investing into your future. Ask yourself, what I'm doing today, what I'm spending money on today, is it a need or a want? If you're growing your wealth and you're in a position where you're at the bottom and you're trying to come up, that's not the time for you to be juggling in wants. You need to put all of yourself and all of your effort into getting out. For you, you may be the first generation who is helping get your family out of that poverty quagmire or need quagmire. And so you need to do it with a full force. And so taking budgeting seriously, it's something that can help you stay on that path. And so it's something that you need to take you need to be mindful of, you need to have a lot of interest in it, and you need to practice it. The second one is know your savings rate. Now, your savings rate is the amount of money you save every month. If you divide that by your income, the percentage is your savings rate. So, for example, let's say you earn 1,000 cedis, and you're able to save 20 cedis out of that every month. What's the savings rate? That's 2%. So imagine you're able to save 100 cedis out of it. What's the savings rate? That's 10%. So you knowing your savings rate will help you to see how much of your income that you're putting away on a regular basis. Knowing your savings rate will also give you the strength to see the true picture and see what you can do to improve it. If you take your budgeting seriously, there are things in your wants that you can do something about. And so don't look for big increments. Let's say you're already at 5% and you instantly want to go to 30%. It may not be practical for you to do. Look for incremental increments. Look for small changes. So as you define your budget again, as you go through it again, as you repurpose your money to tackle the things that are most important for you in your life, you'll see that there are some things that you can cut back on. If it means it's increasing by 1% or 2% or 3%, it's a good step. Do that and see how, in a very short term, you'll not see the difference. But over a long period of time, it stacks up together and it brings a lot of difference to your financial health. As we've already said before, as you're budgeting, your number one expense should be your savings. And so as you do that, continue to do that so that already you have a savings rate. You have an idea of what it is. Look for ways to improve upon it as you go through your needs and your wants. This month, take your income as you get it. List down the things that you need to use money for. Don't assume that you already know about it. No, put it down in writing. As you spend, put it down. You have your budget of expenses and you have your actual expenses. Put it down side by side. At the end of the month, go through it again and see where you're able to manage within, where you're able to go beyond, and what you can do about it. Are there some that you can cut back on, looking at how much you saved? Is there something that you can do about it so that you can increase that savings rate? So your savings rate is a number that you need to look at, is a number that you need to watch, is a percentage that gives you an idea of how much of your income is going into your savings, and it will give you the strength to increase it when you're able to find ways to cut back on your expenses. Now, another thing that we also need to look out for is that you need to save. but it's just a means to an end. No one has saved his way to creating sustainable wealth, even though it's a foundation you cannot do without. You need to learn how to use your money to get into assets. As I said, the goal is to create freedom for yourself and also freedom for your family, for your generation yet to come, so that they can truly choose the path that helps them to fulfill their God-given purpose and talent on earth. And what a way for you to do it, in creating that foundation that brings stability not only to your life but also to their lives. You need to know where you put these monies so that it will work for you. Let your money work for you so that it also gets you some income. It also gets you some babies. We really understand that your income that you save is your seed. That seed you need to put in a fertile ground so that it can germinate. It will not only germinate, it will also bear fruits. It will bear fruits of its kind. So let's look at some of the areas that you can push your money into. Number one, there are fixed deposits in banks. You go to your bank today and you ask for fixed deposits, and it's savings, but it's a way of giving your money to the bank for them to work with it for a specific period of time so that they compensate you with interest. It's one thing that you can look out for. What it does is that it keeps the money away from you so that you don't readily go put your hand into it when you say you have emergency or when you think you have emergency. So that's number one. You can also do government treasury bill. This is the government, and the government uses this to fund its expenditure, its daily operations. And so we know that how does the government make money? They make money by taxing their citizens, and so we pay taxes on the things that we buy, indirect taxes, and there are also direct taxes on employees and also on businesses, employees on the income that they make, on businesses on the profit that they make, etc. Government also borrow money to fund their activities, to fund their expenditure. And if you look at governments all over the world, every month, every year, there's always a deficit which goes on. There's always a deficit, which means that they spend more than they earn. They spend more than they can generate. And it's all over. There are very few countries that are able to balance their budgets and even get a surplus. And so our country is not very different. And so one of the ways that the government funds its expenditure is to borrow from the public. And we know that there are bonds, which are loans that the government take, which are over a year and above. And they are the treasury bills, which is within a year. And so one of the things you can also do is that you can push your money there, and for a 91-day, 6 months or a year, you can lend your money to the government will use it, and the government will give you an interest. What this also does is that it helps you to generate, so you're just not saving, but the savings that you are putting there is also getting interest on it. So the savings is also saving. And it's one of the basic ways you need to learn and understand on how you can put your money to work. That's not all. This is the foundation. This is what you need to begin with when you don't have an idea what you want to do with your money. So put it there, park it there, whilst you think of what you need to, where it is that you can push your money for it to generate returns. That one will not necessarily depend on the government or the banks, but it will also be sustainable and will be something that will not crash or be destroyed in a very short time. And so be careful of people who promise you to get rich quick schemes. They promise you high interest so that the little savings that you built, you put it there, hoping to quadruple and make your money grow faster in a very short period of time. That's not the case. You always, in this period, in this process of creating your wealth, it takes time. I mean, there are proven things that you can do that can it will be snowball effects, and it will be picking up until it gains a lot of momentum. So at the very basic, save your money by doing fixed deposits, also by doing government T-bills, so that your money can be earning interest also for you. Now, there are other things that you can also put your money into, like investing in stocks. We know that there are risks there. If the company does well, if the market sentiments are good, it will also prop your shares up, and you can enjoy dividends if the company pays profits, and also you can also enjoy capital appreciation if your share price also increases. All of this, the stock is also one way that you can also grow your wealth when you put your money there. One of the big things you need to invest in is yourself. It gives you the biggest return on investment. Why? Because the more you know, the more you can earn. And the gap between where you want to be and where you are now is lack of awareness. How does this awareness come about? It's by you being exposed to. How do you get exposed to it? It's by you learning. How do you learn? When you invest in yourself. Investing in yourself is a critical thing that you need to take advantage of, whether it's by developing new skills or helping develop some soft skills of yours, networking, putting yourself out there so that you're exposed to new opportunities, understanding new trends, understanding new wealth, new ways of creating wealth. All these are things that you need to expose yourself to in a bit to bettering yourself, helping you to understand your world better, and helping you seize opportunities as and when they come your way. And so investing in yourself is a big thing, not only in helping you grow, but also in helping identify opportunities that surround you and that you can take advantage of. As you invest in yourself, you give yourself an opportunity to increase your earning ability from where you are now to a better place. Because remember, you're saving a portion of what you're earning. What if you can increase that income? What if you can grow that income level? It means that with the same percentage rate that you are saving, you can even do better. You can do more. And so one of the things you need to invest in is to invest in yourself. And as you're investing in yourself, the goal is to make yourself better, help identify opportunities around you. So the goal, as we are saying, is so that you can build enough of these assets. Now, building assets, so the fixed deposit you can say is an asset, lending your money to the government is an asset, but we know that this can go up or down in terms of the returns that you get there, depending on the sentiment and how they feel the risk should be, how they feel they should compensate you. You need to also invest in other areas that we can call assets. Now, asset is anything that brings value and gives you income. And so whatever thing that you need to develop so that it can help generate income for you is an asset. And so focus on yourself by investing in yourself, which is your number one asset that you have. After that, look for, as you get yourself exposed to your environment, as you become aware of how things work better in your industry, in industries that you get yourself exposed to, in your networking events, you are able to identify other assets classes that you need to take advantage of. Listen to opportunities that people bring to you, but don't take it hook, line, and sinker. Investigate yourself to understand the risk and reward. Often, whatever promises a high reward also carries with it inherently high risk. And so you need to be able to understand whatever investment or instrument or activity that you're getting yourself into, which is supposed to generate some returns for you. Because as you are enticed by the returns, you also need to be mindful of the risk that is associated with it. Your goal is not to lose your money. The goal is to ensure that you don't lose money in your quest to increasing and generating returns on your assets. And so go ahead. Look within you. Look around you. Try and see what opportunities are available to you. Can you make assets out of some of these opportunities? And I think going forward, we will be discussing some of these activities that can turn into assets which will generate income for you. And if you have no idea what kind of assets you can build to generate a lot more income and also to grow your income, then start investing in yourself. Start learning. Start reading books. Become more aware of your environment. Start talking to people. And I'm sure you will be able to identify at least one asset that you can venture in, which will help you not to lose money, but incrementally grow what you have. And so the goal of all of this is to achieve freedom, to achieve financial freedom, so that you can provide a lot of options, not only for yourself, but also for your kids, for your family, and for generations yet unborn. Again, you need to give the future generation a stepping stone, better than where you started, so that their lives can be good, so that their lives can be better, and they can fulfill the purpose of God for their lives without any stress of finances, or at least with a better footing than you had. Give them that freedom so that they can choose the path that they want. It will also help you as you achieve your financial freedom, so that you can also pursue the things that brings joy to you and also brings glory to God. Thank you, and see you soon.